Tuesday, April 28, 2020 work session regular meeting of the Franklin Township Council was provided as required by law.
Next is the Pledge of Allegiance. If everyone but Mr. Chase would mute, and no need to stand, but we could say the Pledge of Allegiance led by Mr. Chase.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Mr. Galtieri, if you could lead us in an invocation.
As we gather today as members of the Township Council, we pray that we are ever mindful of opportunities to render our service to fellow citizens and to our community, keeping in mind always the enduring values of life, exerting our efforts in those areas and on those things upon which future generations can build with confidence. Let us continue to strive to make a better world. And let us pray for those that we have also lost in the past weeks due to this devastating virus. Amen.
Thank you. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilman Embarrasson?
Here.
Councilman Chase?
Here,
Councilwoman Francois?
Here.
Councilman Galtieri?
Here.
Mayor Kramer?
Here.
Deputy Mayor Onijaka? Councilwoman Pruitt?
Here.
Councilman Vasanella?
Mr. Vassanelli, you're muted.
Here.
Councilman Wright?
Okay, thank you. We're going to do this meeting as we did last time, out of order from the way we typically do. We're trying to get the critical items in first in case there's a technological glitch. Council members will call back in if there is a technological glitch and we're bounced off. I, by the way, am on call, so if I jump up to take a call, I will ask the clerk to continue the meeting. Okay, approval of the minutes. I present the following minutes for approval by the Township Council. Township Council work session regular minutes on April 14th, 2020 at 7 p.m. Do I have a motion for the minutes?
So moved.
seconded,
Moved and seconded. Any discussion or corrections? Madam Clerk.
Councilman Embarrasson?
Yes.
Councilman Chase?
yes,
Councilwoman Francois?
Yes.
Councilman Galtieri?
Yes.
Mayor Kramer?
Yes.
Councilwoman Pruitt? Councilman
Yes.
Vasanella? Councilman
Yes.
Vasanella?
Yes.
Okay,
Forgot me.
approval of the warrants. Warrants in the amount of $12,928,203.47 on April 28th are presented to the Township Council for payment. Do I have a motion on the warrants?
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Is there any discussion, any item that someone wishes to be pulled or questioned? Seeing none, Madam Clerk.
Councilman Embarrasson?
Yes.
Councilman Chase?
yes,
Councilwoman Francois?
Yes.
Councilman Galtieri?
Yes.
Mayor Kramer?
Yes.
Councilwoman Pruitt?
Yes.
Councilman Vasanella?
Yes.
Councilman Wright has joined the meeting. Welcome, Councilman Wright.
Thank you.
The next item is Community Development Block Grant Program Annual Action Plan 2019. Would that be 2019?
Yes.
Okay. Public hearing on the CDBG 2019 Action Plan substantial amendment. And the amendment is that we are gathering up the monies that were not spent in the past to be used in the future. We have a motion to open for public hearing.
So moved.
seconded,
Second.
Seconded. All in favor of opening public discussion, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, say nay. Motion is carried. We are open for public discussion. Mr. Manager, if you could run that.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Moderator, would you please open the microphones on the attendees? Bob? One moment.
Everybody's unmuted.
Okay, so anyone who has called in or is logged in, if you're wishing to make a comment on this particular item, please speak up. Mr. Mayor, we hear no one speaking.
See no one speaking, I'll motion to close the public portion of the hearing on this item.
Second.
So moved.
You're muted, Mayor.
The motion to close the public hearing has been moved and seconded. All in favor of closing on this item, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. Motion is carried. We are closed on this item. I think we lost somebody. I'll get back. Okay. So resolution 20-159, authorize substantial amendment, number 1 to CDBG Action Plan 2019. Do we have a motion on the item?
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, Madam Clerk.
Councilman Anderson,
Yes.
Councilman Chase,
Ed, you're muted.
Yes.
Councilwoman Francois,
Yes.
Councilman Galtieri,
Yes.
Mayor Kramer,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Onizaka,
Yes.
Councilwoman Ford,
Yes.
Councilman Vasanella,
Yes.
Councilman Wright.
Seem to have lost one. Okay. It passes. We're on to item number 8, calendar year 2020 amended Hamilton Street SID budget and set public hearing date. A resolution 20-157. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Seconded?
Moved and seconded. So for discussion, what this is about, we actually already passed the SID budget. However, council reflected on the expenditure of that money, given the current situation and the fact that we would be taxing people with the SID assessment. We thought that several members of council thought that it might be appropriate to not do the SID assessment this year. We haven't done it for 3 years. There's enough money in their surplus to handle the vital items. And it was just one way that we thought, that many of us thought that we could lessen the strain just a little bit on people. Any other discussion? So, with no other discussion, Madam Clerk?
Councilman Anderson,
Yes.
Councilman Chase,
Yes.
Councilwoman Francois,
Yes.
Councilman Galtieri,
Yes.
Mayor Kramer,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Onizaka,
Yes.
Councilwoman Ford,
Yes.
Councilman Vasanella,
Yes.
Councilman Wright.
Madam Clerk, notice we didn't actually name the hearing date.
May 12th.
So the hearing date will be May 12th, 2020. Does anyone want to change their vote given that new information? Hearing none, it passes. Public hearing and adoption of ordinances on second reading. These are ordinances that have already been introduced. The only one ordinance. And now council will vote on it to pass or not pass it. It's ordinance 4319-20, an ordinance of the Township Franklin, County of Somerset, and State of New Jersey, authorizing acceptance of deeds or dedications from Laura Leggett and Lejette Guns and Gordon Guns, trustees of the Valentine Trust in Franklin Township of Franklin, for premises known as Block 9, Lot 20.03, and Block 9, Lots 20.03 and 20.04. Those are on Canal Road and Copper Mine Road respectively, is presented to the public hearing and final adoption. Public hearing has been noticed as required. We have a motion to open to the public.
So moved.
Move.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Okay. We have a motion and a second. All in favor of opening to the public, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. Motion is carried. We are open to the public. Mr. Manager.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Moderator, if you could unmute the lens. Still see one mute. Okay. For anyone who's logged in or calling in on this meeting, if you're interested in commenting on this particular ordinance, please speak now.
And then today we interviewed Taylor Green after her,
Mr. Mayor, I hear no one's speaking.
voice.
I do hear something.
Okay, so there's someone who has some background noise. If everyone
It was
could
like a pretty big, like, internet.
everyone mute, please, if you're not speaking.
I believe that's someone who's called in, Mr. Mayor.
Okay. Right, so,
I will motion to close the public portion of the hearing since there's nobody looking to speak.
Seconded.
We had notices that people were wanting to speak.
Well, I'll hold off on the motion if you want to double check the technology to make sure. I don't want to cut anybody off.
Mr. Chase, how are you noticing?
All right. Anyone who's on the phone or on the computer joining this meeting, if you wish to speak on this ordinance, please speak now.
There's some kind of feedback, and there's somebody talking in the background. So please mute your,
It is about battle for battle. Like, if in this battle, Taylor won, Taylor goes to the next level.
okay, there's a
The
woman's
background-
voice in the background, whoever that is. Okay, thank you. You muted.
No, Mr. Mayor, the background noise that you hear is someone who is called into the meeting, not one of the panelists.
Oh, okay.
And no one has spoken again.
Okay, so no one has spoken, Mr. Vasanella?
So I will move the motion to end the public portion of the hearing on this ordinance.
Second.
Second.
Moved and seconded, all in favor of closing public hearing, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, say nay. Motion is carried, public hearing is closed. On this item, do we have a motion on the item?
So moved.
So moved.
Is second,
Second.
any discussion on the item? Madam Clerk?
Councilman Harrison,
Yes.
Councilman Chase,
Yes.
Councilwoman Farsalaw,
Yes.
Councilman Galtieri.
Yes.
Mayor Kramer,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor O'Neill-Johnson. He's muted.
Charles, you're muted. Continue to roll.
Councilwoman Chase,
Yes.
Councilman Vasanella,
Yes.
Councilman Wright.
Yes.
Councilman Onijaka, did you vote?
Yes, I voted yes.
Okay, very good. We are now on to item number 10, ordinance on introduction and first reading. First ordinance is 4320-20. These are ordinances that we're introducing, and we'll vote on at a later time if they pass introduction. This is an ordinance authorizing the lease of certain premises owned by the Township of Franklin in the County of Somerset to Southbound Brook, Somerset Little League, for the utilization as a Little League baseball complex. The foregoing ordinance is presented to Township Council for adoption on first reading, posting, publication in accordance with law, and public hearing and final adoption at a virtual meeting of the Township Council to be held via WebEx on Tuesday, May 12th, 2020 at 7 p.m. Do I have a motion to introduce?
So moved.
Seconded.
Second.
Moved and seconded. So this is basically leasing some of our property to the Little League that is used by South Brownbrook and Franklin. It is a 5-year lease. Some may wonder why we would be doing this in the middle of COVID-19, but it is a 5-year lease. Any other discussion? Hearing none, Madam Clerk.
Councilman Amberson,
Yes.
Councilman Chase,
Yes.
Councilwoman Francois,
Yes.
Councilman Galtieri,
Yes.
Mayor Kramer,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Oni Jaka,
Yes.
Councilwoman,
Yes.
Councilman Vasanella,
Yes.
Councilman Wright.
Yes.
It passes for introduction. Ordinance 4321-20, bond ordinance providing for various 2020 capital improvements and equipment acquisitions lying in the Township of Franklin and the County of Somerset, State of New Jersey, appropriating $5,765,000, therefore, and authorizing the insurance of $5,477,750 bonds or notes for the township to finance part of the cost thereof. The foregoing ordinance is presented to Township Council for adoption on first reading and publication in accordance with law and public hearing and final adoption at a virtual meeting in the Township Council to be held via WebEx on Tuesday, May 12, 2020 at 7 p.m. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
And a second?
Second.
Moved in, seconded. So this is basically bond ordinance for our capital budget. We passed our budget weeks ago, and in that was bond, and we are now bonding for it. Any other discussion? Hearing none, Madam Clerk.
Councilman Amberson,
Yes.
Councilman Chase,
Yes.
Councilwoman Francois,
Yes.
Councilman Galtieri,
Yes.
Mayor Kramer,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Oni Jaka,
Yes.
Councilwoman Pruitt,
Yes.
Councilman Vasanella,
Yes.
Councilman Wright.
Yes.
It is introduced. Ordinance 4322-20, bond ordinance providing for various capital improvements for the water utility of the Township of Franklin in the County of Somerset, State of New Jersey, appropriating $7,720,000, therefore, and authorizing the issuance of $7,720,000 bonds or notes of the water utility of the township to finance the cost thereof. The foregoing ordinance is presented to Township Council for adoption on first reading, posting, publication in accordance with law and public hearing and final adoption at a virtual meeting of the Township Council to be held via WebEx on Tuesday, May 12, 2020 at 7 p.m. Do you have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing no discussion, Madam Clerk.
Councilman Amberson,
Yes.
Councilman Chase,
Yes.
Councilwoman Francois,
Yes.
Councilman Galtieri,
Yes.
Mayor Kramer,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Oni Jaka,
Yes.
Councilwoman Pruitt,
Yes.
Councilman Vasanella,
Yes.
Councilman Wright.
Yes.
Okay, it is introduced. Ordinance 4323-20. Bond ordinance providing for capital improvements and equipment acquisitions for various parks by and in the Township of Franklin and the County of Somerset, State of New Jersey, appropriating $1,560,000 from the Open Space Trust Fund therefore, and authorizing the issuance of $1,483,000 bonds or notes of the township of the township to finance part of the cost thereof. The foregoing ordinance is presented to Township Council for adoption on first reading, posted publication in accordance with law and public hearing and final adoption at a virtual meeting of the Township Council to be held via WebEx on Tuesday, May 12th, 2020 at 7 p.m. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
We have a second. This is bond ordinance for open space. Any other discussion? Madam Clerk?
Councilman Embarrasson?
Yes.
Councilman Chase?
yes,
Councilwoman Francois?
Yes.
Councilman Galtieri?
Yes.
Mayor Kramer?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Oni-Chaka?
Yes.
Councilwoman Pruitt?
Yes.
Councilman Vasanella?
Yes.
Councilman Wright?
Yes.
Ordinance 4324-20, capital ordinance appropriating $1,707,500 from the Open Space Trust Fund to pay for various capital acquisitions and improvements for the Township of Franklin and the County of Somerset, State of New Jersey. The foregoing ordinance is presented to the Township Council for adoption on first reading, posting, publication in accordance with law, and public hearing, and final adoption in a virtual meeting of the Township Council to be held via WebEx on Tuesday, May 12th, 7 p.m. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
second,
Second.
Moved and seconded. So this is cash in the open space fund. Any other discussion? Madam Clerk?
Councilman Embarrasson?
Yes.
Councilman Chase?
yes,
Councilwoman Francois?
Yes.
Councilman Galtieri?
Yes.
Mayor Kramer?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Oni-Chaka?
Yes.
Councilwoman Pruitt?
Yes.
Councilman Vasanella?
Yes.
Councilman Wright?
Yes.
Okay, we are now on to the consent agenda, items A through E, the shortest consent agenda I can recall. As listed on the consent agenda, a portion of this meeting are presented to Township Council for adoption. We have a motion.
So moved.
seconded,
Moved in second. And any discussion? Anyone like to pull an item? A question an item? Hearing none, Madam Clerk?
Councilman Embarrasson?
Yes.
Councilman Chase?
yes,
Councilwoman Francois?
Yes.
Councilman Galtieri?
Yes.
Mayor Kramer?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Oni-Chaka?
Yes.
Councilwoman Pruitt?
Yes.
Councilman Vasanella?
Yes.
Councilman Wright?
Yes.
Item number 12, resolutions to be voted on separately, 20-163. Approval of service agreement with the Franklin Township Food Bank for $25,000 food relief for Franklin Township residents. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Moved in second, and any discussion? I think it's self-explanatory. Madam Clerk?
Councilman Embarrasson?
Yes.
Councilman Chase?
yes,
Councilwoman Francois?
Yes.
Councilman Galtieri?
Yes.
Mayor Kramer?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Oni-Chaka?
Yes.
Councilwoman Pruitt?
Yes.
Councilman Vasanella?
Yes.
It passes.
Right.
So, old business, 2020 boards, committees, commissions, vacancies. Does anyone have any nominations? Hearing none, we'll move on to item number 14, council discussion item, delinquent tax payment interest rate. So I'll try not to bring you, the public, through the making of the sausage of government. But council has for weeks reflected on what to do about property taxes and should we defer or not defer them. That was never a discussion. But should we allow a longer grace period? Should we change the interest rate? And it was really a changing environment on it between what we wanted to do and what the state was doing. with the Assembly, the Senate, the Governor's Office, and literally 8.5 hours ago, the Governor put out an executive order, which an emergency order, emergency order 130, I believe, that made it quite clear that if we wanted to take action, we had only certain things we could do. And what they allowed us to do is to extend the grace period to June 1st. That's essentially the only action to take. That basically is where we are now. What I would like is for us to discuss it. If anyone has any items on it, allow public discussion to occur, so they can weigh in on it. This was originally planned when we were going to do something very different, but the governor has said, no, this is the way it's going to be. So we don't have much latitude except to do this. But I do want to let the public weigh in if they want to on this or any other subject. So is there any discussion from council on this item? Okay, there is none, so do we have a motion to open to the general public?
So moved.
Second.
Moved in, seconded. All in favor of opening, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. We are opening to the general, to the public to speak on any item related to government. People may speak for up to 2 minutes. No yielding of time, and state your name and address if you choose to speak. Mr. Manager.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. So if anyone has called in on a telephone,
Is there anything I can do to help?
the first people will address people who are on the telephone. If you're on the telephone, please speak now and let me know that you want to make an address to the council.
Oh, good.
All right, hearing no one on the telephone, there are several callers, I should say, several that have logged in by computer.
Oh, I hope this will.
If you have logged in by computer and you wish to address the council, please speak now. Mr. Mayor, I'm not hearing anyone speak up.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, Mr. Mayor.
I think in the muting of the general public, I got muted. Okay. Good, let's move. Okay, do we have a motion to close public discussion?
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. All in favor of closing public discussion, say aye.
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 Okay, public discussion is closed. So we brought up the extending the grace period to June 1st, according to the emergency order. We have to pass a resolution. The clerk efficiently created a resolution for us and distributed to us. We have a motion on that resolution.
So moved.
So moved. Seconded.
Moved and seconded. So this resolution extends the grace period instead of being May 10th to June 1st. And Mr. Manager or Mr. Attorney, whichever one feels best to speak on it. So the grace period, you have no penalty if you pay on or before June 1st. And if you pay on June 2nd, what happens?
So once again, that's the grace period. You then interest begins to accrue.
Does interest begin to accrue from June 1st or from May 1st?
I believe, I'm not, Mr. Vornlocker might know, I believe it's from June 1st.
So the grace period is through June 1st. So I mean, I guess it's open to interpretation. I think that we'll begin to assess interest on June 2nd.
Correct. That's my understanding.
Right.
Okay. Okay, so we have a motion and a second, and I discussed it a little bit. Any other discussion?
Mayor, I just have a question for the manager or attorney.
Yes, sir?
So just be clear, because I get a feeling a lot of people may be paying via online, the internet, that often may not have in the past. What time, just to be clear, do they actually have to pay up till on June 1st or the day before, whatever it is, the requirements, so that the payment is processed and posted that they paid it in time?
I assume close of business June 1st.
So
Just like right now, it's close. Right.
It would be close of business on the 10th of May for the grace period, correct?
So by the close of business, just
On the 1st of June,
which is,
I believe Tuesday, but the close of business is 4:30.
okay, that's all I was looking for. Thank you.
Okay, very good. Any other discussion? I guess this has to be by roll call, Madam Clerk.
Councilman Barrison,
Yes.
Councilman Chase,
Yes.
Councilwoman Francois,
Yes.
Councilman Galtieri,
Yes.
Mayor Kramer,
Yes?
Deputy Mayor Oni Jaka,
Deputy Mayor, you're muted.
Hello?
Yes.
Okay, yes.
Councilwoman Floyd,
Yes.
Councilman Vasanella,
Yes.
Councilman Wright.
Yes.
Okay. We are now on to council comments. I'm going to do it in the order that you are on the screen. Easiest for me, Mr. Wright. Mr. Wright, if you wish to speak. Council comment.
Talking to Carl, right?
Yes,
No comment.
thank you. Councilwoman Pruitt.
Just everyone be safe, be smart.
Thank you. Councilman Vasanella.
Just want to take a moment to acknowledge Cody Manzarek, the proclamation tonight. Should acknowledge it 50th anniversary independence. And for those public that don't know, Mr. Manzarek was, I'm going to say, the kind of de facto leader of sorts, and has been so, and one of the most prevalent community leaders in Franklin. He's passed away. All the incredible celebration that him and many other leaders in the West African community put together for the 50th anniversary, and probably one of the coolest parades I've ever been to in my life, and one of the most unique parades Franklin Township has ever had. And I can't believe that next year will be the 60th anniversary of the independence, and also a hard time believing Mr. Manzarek, unfortunately, will not be there to help celebrate that and future celebrations in West African community. It's a loss for all of us, and I know, Mayor, you were very close to him over the years. So, and Councilman, Deputy Mayor Onajaka, of course, your connection to the community also. But I just wanted to mention that. Otherwise, ditto, be safe, be healthy, be smart. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Councilman. Councilwoman Kimberly Francois.
I just want to say to everybody, be safe and stay well. And God bless America.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Councilman Amberson.
Thank you, Mayor. Again, we appreciate all the essential employees, including the township staff that is keeping us all in operation. A huge appreciation for everybody. As far as we are concerned, my wife has been making some face mask, cloth face mask, and giving them out to the community food bank, so on. I think people are really appreciating that. Also, I am in the process of putting together a virtual Indian multi-language music program for the benefit of the food bank on May 9th in the evening, 6 p.m. I will have announcement, flyer, etc. coming up very shortly. Thank you, Mayor. That's all I got.
Thank you, Councilman. Councilman Chase.
No particular comments. Be well, be safe, don't drink any bleach.
Thank you, Councilman Chase. Councilman Galtieri.
So first I want to say thank you very much to all our volunteers that have come out and helped the community. We're continuing to get an increase in requests for assistance, and they're being met without any hesitation. So thank you to everybody, and we sincerely appreciate you coming out and volunteering. As far as please help if you can support the food bank. In addition to what the town contributed tonight, but they are still in need and helping to feed a surplus. So anything you can give either virtually through the virtual food drive or through the food drive collection at 505 DeMott Lane. Additionally, the SALT Foundation and the food bank are looking for sewn face masks for the volunteers. So if you're looking for something to do and looking to sew and donate some sewing masks to help volunteers during distributions, that would be greatly appreciated. Again, those can be dropped off at the senior center as well, and then we'll distribute them out to the organizations. And one thing I would continue to encourage residents to do is, if you do have the funds available, to try to help support our local restaurants. We want them to be there after this happens and let everybody go out and dine in. But for now, takeout options are available there. So please help support the local businesses if you can. Everybody, please stay safe. That's all I have, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Councilman Deputy Mayor Onijak.
Okay, thank you, Mayor. On behalf of for the Mansoura's family, the wife at the West African community in Franklin, we want to express our appreciation to the condolences and the word of encouragement we received on the death of Ambassador Fode Mansoura. Most especially the governor of New Jersey, Phil Murphy, who called the family and expressed our condolences too. And the mayor, our mayor, Vic Kramer, the assemblyman, Joe Donaldson, and some others, and the council too, and some other friends and workers of Fode. All we ask God is to protect him, give him an eternal life, and rest in perfect peace. We, the West African community and the family, we really, really miss him. This is a terrible icon. We miss him, and I say, may his soul and the soul of the departed rest in perfect peace. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor. So I too want to remember my friend Fode Mansoura. And 75 residents of Franklin have died due to COVID-19, and we are talking about one of them, but every one of those 75 are hugely important. Every one of them have touched many people. Fode is just someone who is very much part of our lives and part of many people's lives, because he was a leader in his community. Personally, I will never stop missing him. He was a constant presence in my life, and he was really devoted to his community. So he is absolutely missed. I will be having another town hall meeting on Thursday. Go to mayorkramer.com for details. Mr. Manager, will we be putting up the details of how to connect to that on the township website?
I'm sorry, could you repeat that, Mayor?
Will the town hall meeting be advertised on the township website?
Yes, it'll be advertised on the website as well as social media.
And then, of course, my Facebook page will have it, so there'll be plenty of ways that you can find out exactly how to connect. I do give the updates constantly on both mayorkramer.com and my Facebook page. I want to thank staff for all they've done. They are keeping this town going. And I want to thank Mr. Bornmacher, who he's living and breathing Franklin and doing everything he can. I don't think he's taken more than 10 minutes break since this has started. He's always there and always available and always thinking about what else he can do. So the town owes him. My final comment is tagging on to Mr. Galtieri's comment about restaurants. The CDC considers it safe. I have gone to restaurants to get curbside. I will only go to a restaurant if I can call in my credit card number. They bring it to the car. They put it in the car, keeping social distancing. And the only thing you have to be careful of is the packaging, just like the packaging when you go to the grocery store. It is safe, and I do partake in it. So it's a way to keep our businesses going and give some variety to the diet. That's all my comments. This is unusual times. Mr. Attorney, do you have anything to say?
No, Mr. Mayor, thank you.
Okay, Mr. Manager.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I have somewhat of a long report, so I will try to go through each individual item. I know there's been a lot of questions about the upcoming events that are scheduled and some functions of government, so I'll try to address all of them. The first thing I want to address just is the concern that has been expressed by a number of members of the public about our long-term care facilities here in Franklin Township. I just want you to be assured that not only our Office of Emergency Management, but the Somerset County Health Department is in daily communication with all of our long-term care facilities, and they're reporting staff at appropriate levels. If there are problems with their staff levels, there are temporary services that have been engaged by Somerset County to provide healthcare workers for those long-term care facilities that need them on a short notice basis. They are all supplied with PPE at this time, and we continue to monitor that as well. And they are provided with whatever PPE we can provide them with. We also are receiving donations of PPE and then giving them to the long-term care facilities to ensure that not only the employees at those facilities, but the patients are as protected as we can make them. So that's one issue. The first event that I want to speak about is the Memorial Day Parade and the Memorial Day services. Unfortunately, given the type of event that those two events are, we're not going to be able to have our usual parade and Memorial Day service. However, the organizer, the annual organizer of that event, Bob LaCourte, is working with our recreation staff to provide for a virtual Memorial Day service on Memorial Day. And so look to the website and social media for information on that particular event. The next event I want to talk about is our Independence Day celebration and fireworks. Unfortunately, given the magnitude of that event and the planning that goes into that event, we don't, as we've discussed with staff, and we don't see how it's practical for us to do all of the work involved for an event that very well may not be able to happen given the inability or social distancing and the large crowds that would gather. However, we have spoken with our vendor for fireworks, and this is the same vendor that we have used really since the beginning of fireworks back in 98 when we celebrated the township's bicentennial, and they have agreed to do the fireworks for a community-wide event on any date that we should choose all the way through January 1st. So we are working diligently. Staff in the recreation department is coming up with ideas. And, all I can say is, while we may not have it on Independence Day, we will be able to celebrate when all of this is over and we can all gather together again, and we'll find a time that everyone will be able to come together again. So look forward to that in the future as we begin to make announcements on that particular event. The pool at Naaman Williams Park. We haven't given up on the pool. We hope to be able to have at least a partial season. We'll see how things progress here in Franklin and in the state as it relates to gatherings. We are compiling a list of available lifeguards so that we can staff the pool if we're able to open it, but we have no plans right now on keeping it closed for the entire season. However, this is just going to have to be taken on a day-to-day basis as we evaluate the circumstances here. But we hope to have it open. Summer camps for our young people that are run by the recreation department. We're looking at a lot of different alternatives. The recreation department is working with the Board of Education, but perhaps we plan on offering summer camps. It may be different than it has been in the past, but we still plan on offering them. And so if you are interested in summer camps, monitor the recreation website and the township website for information on the summer camps. The animal shelter. A lot of people have expressed concern about the fact that we have an animal shelter full of animals and no one can adopt them. So we've had some discussions with Katie Nordhaus, our Chief Animal Control Officer, and we believe that we can make certain animals who have dogs that have been behavioral screenings have been done, and cats that have been spayed or neutered. That's one of our problems. Spay and neuter animals has to be done before an animal can be given out for adoption, and dogs need to have behavioral tests done before they can be given out for adoption. We have several dogs and several cats. If you're interested in adopting an animal, go to the township website, go to the animal control page, click on the Pet Finder link. The animals that are currently listed on Pet Finder are available for adoption. If you're interested, contact the animal control, the animal shelter at extension 6255 and leave a message for Katie. She will get back to you and arrange for a one-person appointment adoption screening. So if you're interested in an animal, please look at our website and see if there's something there that might interest you. And then the last thing, which is I saved it for last because it'll probably be the biggest news. As most people know who have been following the government of Franklin Township, we have been without our own leadership of our police department for quite some time. There was a nationwide search for a public safety director. It involved a number of interviews and the screening process, and that has now come to an end. And we now have made an offer, and that offer was accepted. And the new public safety director, Quavella Spruill, has begun her work here with the police department. She's been met very well by the members of the police department. Quavella Spruill is the retired chief of detectives for the Essex County Prosecutor's Office. She has over 20 years of law enforcement experience, and with more than 13 of it as a command level officer. She's a graduate of the New Jersey Institute of Technology with a master's degree from Seton Hall University. She's also a volunteer with the New Jersey Orators. She is a part-time professor at Rutgers University, and she's a member of the executive board of the National Organization of Black Law Enforcement Executives. And I think that our search has brought a fantastic candidate to our police department, and she started last week and hit the ground running. And it's been very, very heartening to see how she's acclimated so quickly, and we anticipate the transfer of our police department from the county prosecutor's office to our public safety director next week. So this has been a very, very trying time over the last several months, but this is a shining end to what we've dealt with. And now we look forward to the future, and we look forward to taking the police department to the highest level that it can be taken. And
Thank
Mr.
you,
Mayor?
Mr. Manager. Two other short items. Our open space and parks are still closed. I know the weather has gotten better. I know it's hard. I know those of you who live in our urban space, it's hard for you. You may not have backyards if you live in an apartment, but I honestly believe it saves lives. So please try to be safe. The faster we are, the more we adhere to these rules, the faster we'll be able to get out of this. Please do not use our open spaces and our parks. We are enforcing. And then the other thing was apparently Oscar Mayer Hot Dogs is having this thing where people basically have these barbecues on the street. I'm not exactly sure of the details. That would be against the governor's orders. These are not allowed. Sorry to end this with a heavy hand, but please be safe. The last item is commendations and proclamations. Councilman Amberson, you have a proclamation about Ramadan.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. Ramadan Proclamation 2020. Whereas Ramadan, April 23rd to May 23rd, is a time of reflection and introspection that includes prayers in the mosque and reading from the Quran. And whereas throughout the month, Muslims fast from dawn to sunset, a spiritual ritual when people can reconnect with God, engage in prayers, and study the Quran. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed by the mayor and the council of the Township of Franklin to call upon its residents to observe or learn about Ramadan and its religious and historical significance. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Councilman. And Councilman Onyejaka, you have a proclamation about the anniversary of independence of Sierra Leone.
Okay, thank you, Mayor. The 59th anniversary independence of the Republic of Sierra Leone, whereas the 59th anniversary of the independence of the Republic of Sierra Leone, West Africa, was celebrated by citizens and friends of Sierra Leone in communities all over the world on April 27, 2020. And whereas the mayor, deputy mayor, council members of the Township of Franklin, County of Somerset, New Jersey, and all citizens of the township wish to acknowledge and acclaim the contributions of our Sierra Leone community to the life of our community. Now, therefore, we, Deputy Mayor Charles Onyejaka and the Mayor Kramer, on behalf of the Township Council of the Council of Franklin, County of Somerset, New Jersey, do hereby proclaim April 27, 2020 as Sierra Leone Day in the Township of Franklin, County of Somerset, New Jersey. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Councilman. There's no executive session. We have a motion to adjourn. And a second?
Second.
Moved and seconded. All in favor of adjourning, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. We are adjourned. As I've never meant it before, please be well, Franklin.
Thank you, sir.